Okay, this program is using the point 2D and point 3D classes in order to calculate the distance between 2D and 3D points. So we're using a Java FX file. So I already have my main method and test class open, and I've already gone and imported the scanner class. So I'm going to go ahead and create some functions that I'll be using in my main method. Starting with a menu function that is going to ask the user whether they want to calculate 2D or 3D distance. And because we are revamping an older program, I'm going to go ahead and just copy what I wrote previously. Now, one thing I need to do is add in a scanner object. So that I can actually get the input from the user. And I'm going to say return the next integer inputted. And then I'm going to make two more functions that are my calculating functions. So calc2d and another for calc3d. I have these as void and no parameters because I'm not going to hold any values within my main method. In both of these, I will be asking for user input and calculating within these methods. So I'm going to give both of them their own scanner object. And like earlier, I'm going to copy everything I did when I was calculating for 3D, and I'm going to edit it to what I need. So for example, I don't have any of these variables declared, so I need to edit that in. But I'm also going to change it up just a little bit. Since I'm creating an object that's going to hold these values anyway, I don't need to distinguish between my x1 and x2. So after I get the coordinates for those points, I'm going to go ahead and create a point 3D object that will hold those values in the object's memory. So that when I get my new coordinates for point 2, I can use the same variable and save a little space in the memory. Okay, so same deal. I'm going to create another point 3D object, this time called point 2, that holds my new x, y, and z value. Because the point 3D class has its own distance function, I can delete that. And I just need to edit in what I'm displaying to the user. So I need to call some accessors so that my display looks mathematically correct. So if I call point1.getX, that will show me the x value of point 1. And basically rinse and repeat for x, y, and z for both points. Get z. 2. Oh, not y. I know that the point 3D and point 2D have their own printing, the toString method, but as a person with a background in math, I do not like how it looks, so I formatted my own. And then the last thing I need to do is call the distance function. Oops. 0.2. And then I remember specifically that this function or this program before wanted us to have the integer value in parentheses. Okay, so point 3D is done. I'm just going to copy paste what I need for point 2D. So again, I take two coordinates and I'm going to create my point 2D object with the inputted x and y value, and I will repeat it for my second point 2D object. new with my new x and y value. Okay, and if I go back to when I originally created my printout statement, I'm going to go ahead and copy this. And again, call my accessors so I can display the x and y values of both points. Oh, whoa. And then last thing I need to do is call the distance method from here and typecast it to an integer. Okay, so all of my functions that I'm going to be calling are done now. I just need to actually call them in my main method, starting with the integer variable choice that we get from the user with our menu function. And based off of choice, we'll have a switch structure where we'll have three cases. First case, if the user enters 2, we will call our calc2d method. If the user enters 3, we'll call our calc3d method. And then a default, if they enter anything else, we're just going to tell them that it's an invalid choice. So if I choose 2D, I'm going to purposefully choose a Pythagorean triple here, so I know the answer is 5.